Hey there! It's time to bake with Andrea! Today I'm going to share with you my favorite pumpkin cake recipe. I make this every year. Normally at Halloween we have a big pot of chili and cornbread, and then I make this pumpkin cake for dessert, and we always eat that before we go out trick-or-treating with the kids. So I'm making it ahead of time so you guys have the recipe if you're interested in making it for your family or someone you know. It's good for Thanksgiving or any get-togethers. It's really delicious. All right, so I'm gonna walk you through the process, but Seth's gonna put the specific instructions and amounts in the description below. So if you wanna make it, that's where you go. I'm not gonna give you all the details. Most of you are probably capable of reading and following a recipe. I love this one because we're actually gonna use a yellow cake mix, store-bought, I know, but these come in handy sometimes, and this is a really delicious recipe. And also just canned pumpkin, not pumpkin pie mix, but pumpkin. And we're gonna get started. So, all right, it will be in the instructions, but I just wanna make sure. First thing you're gonna do is reserve 1 cup of the cake mix. So I've put that in a separate bowl. I'm setting that aside. Then we've got some melted butter, and the rest of the cake mix is going in. And we're gonna mix in 1 egg. So you're gonna stir that up. And this gets pretty thick. All right, once that's combined, we're gonna spray our pan. That's the bottom layer. I'm gonna spread that in a 9x13 pan. And just try to get it as even as possible. It's sort of a thin layer, so just do your best. Okay, I'm all about saving dishes, so we're just gonna mix the next layer right in there. There's a little bit of leftovers, but it's gonna get baked anyway, and I don't think it'll matter. So, more eggs. Okay, some brown sugar. Some white sugar. Pour some sugar on me. And the pumpkin. You are so sneaky.
That cheek tastes good. What you doing there?
I love all things pumpkin, so I'm that girl at Aldi's buying 4 or 5 cans of pumpkin at a time, so I have enough for the whole year. They don't have it like through the whole year at Aldi's, and that's where I love to shop. And I read this year the most common pumpkin used in canned pumpkin like this is the gooseneck pumpkin, which we grew this year. So you could certainly roast your pumpkin and puree it, but I don't think it's worth the work. Okay, a little milk goes in this layer. And lastly, the cinnamon. Alright, once that is thoroughly mixed, you can pour it over your bottom layer. And this layer is kind of thin in comparison, but it will bake up just beautifully. Alright, then last but not least, we're going to make a crumb topping layer. So you're going to take that reserved cake mix, that 1 cup you set aside, and then you're going to mix in some chunks of butter and some extra sugar. And I know people say You can use forks or knives. I think the best way is to just use your hands. This is cold butter. I cut it up in little chunks so my hands are kind of smushing it into smaller chunks, and it's combining with the cake mix and the sugar, and you're just gonna work it until it's kind of a crumbly mess. I have seriously. Then once you got your crumbs, you can just sprinkle them on the cake. Kind of spread it out, make it as even as possible. Whoops. What are you doing? Sneaking. Just have an avalanche.
Look at that mess.
Oh, such a mess.
Such a slob.
I keep walnuts in the freezer because I don't use them that often, and that keeps them a little bit fresher.
Yeah, fresh nuts.
Final step is just sprinkle some crushed walnuts on top. Obviously that is optional. If you're allergic or don't like them, you don't have to do that. But we really like it. It's not too many, because Seth doesn't always like things with nuts in them, but this is just enough to give it a little crunch. In the oven it goes. And just wait till you get to smell it baking. Heavenly. All right, timer went off. Let's see how it looks. Oh yeah.
Scrumdiddlyumptious.
I kind of give it a little shake. Make sure it's not runny. It looks good. There we go. So that there is the best pumpkin cake ever. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you try it and what you think. Oh, look at that. Now it is good warm, like maybe if you had a little scoop of ice cream. But I gotta tell you, my favorite way to eat it is the next day when it's cold. Put it in the fridge. I love it that way. But either way, I hope you enjoy it, and let me know if you make it. Thanks for watching. As always, we're grateful for all of our fans and followers, so thank you so much. Enjoy!